Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty. Joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall, Team Home Loans.
Good evening, sir.
Chargers Homer.
Chargers Homer. We didn't get a chance to talk Aztecs. We'll talk about them a little bit later.
We can go there. We can go there, Jason. Also in studio, David Kreza with the Whissel Realty team. But our guest right now, Mr. Lance, Growth Asset Exchange Company. So, Lance, before the break, you were dropping some knowledge on our listeners on what a 1031 exchange is, how they can save themselves a ton of money in taxes by leveraging a 1031 exchange.
Show me the money!
I knew Lance would like that one, man. Show me the money, Lance.
I love it. So the basic 1031 exchange is where somebody's got an investment property. They've owned it for a few years. They've got a bunch of equity in it. They want to sell, but they don't want to have to pay capital gains on that equity they've built up, so they could sell that property. They can then buy another property of equal or greater value, or they could even buy a few properties as long as the total is equal or greater than the value of the one they sold. And that's the basic 1031 exchange.
Yeah.
And in exchange for doing an exchange, you can defer all those capital gains taxes.
Exactly.
So can they do the opposite? Can they go buy a property and then sell a property that has the equity in it? Is that possible?
It is possible. It's commonly done. Not all exchanges do it because of the complexities involved. But our firm, we've done over 25,000 exchanges in over a 15-year period. So they've seen quite a few, and they're actually fairly popular right now. Basically, people want they find a great deal, and they have to get in on it.
Or they got to buy in cash, or they got to close right away.
Yeah.
I know Kyle talks about that. A lot of the people that he helps get deals done are people that are ready to purchase right now.
Yeah.
They don't have to wait to sell that other investment property.
It's not even with a reverse exchange. It's not even just because they have the cash on hand. Why it's commonly a cash exchange. With a reverse exchange, the main rule is that the client's name can never be on both pieces of property. So they own this property, but they need to go and get this property right now. So their name can't be on both pieces of the property. So what happens is we create, we'll normally get an LLC, and we assign it to the contract. Immediately give them a master lease, so they receive all the benefits and burdens of the property, and then they go for a loan normally to the bank. If they go for a loan to the bank, it's like going for a loan to a bank to say, hey, I want a loan for this property that's owned by a third party. So they normally can't get a loan.
Right.
So these
That's not
are
your
normally
standard
all
Fannie
cash
Freddie
exchanges.
stuff. Right. Wow. So
Yeah.
again, you want to seek a professional because a lot of just average Joes think they can just go buy it and then I'm going to sell this one, Kyle, and okay, call Lance, Kyle's going to say, and you're going to be like, oh, too late because they already bought it in their name.
Yeah.
Right. So if you own in John Doe A rental property, and you just
Right.
see this great deal from Kyle and the Whissel team, and you go buy, property B,
Yeah.
and you put it under John Doe, you're done.
Yeah. If
If it's closed.
If it's
Right.
if escrow closes,
Right.
If you get an escrow, you're still in good, but you do need to call. You need to call not just a professional, because like I said, a lot of even exchange accommodators can't handle a reverse. I mean, you're setting up a whole LLC. You have to transfer the title, make sure that they have control of this property while you're on title to this property yourself. So it's a lot of complexities involved in this, even transferring the property. So what we tell people is one, it's a lot more expensive to do a reverse exchange. And two, when you're doing a reverse
Because it's
exchange,
two transactions.
Exactly.
That's the cost.
And it's normally all cash because of the third party involved. So it's sometimes tough to get a loan. You can sometimes we also recommend hard money lenders, but these are complex situations where you're putting a name on title. The name isn't the exchanger. They only have control through the master lease. And then they have to go through all this. They have to make sure they have a lot of cash on hand. So
Okay, so if you want to buy the property first, they reach out to you.
Yeah.
You guys form an LLC. Let's just call it temporary LLC.
Yeah.
Right? So they buy that property. It's tough to get a loan, so they're probably going to have to buy it with their own cash.
yes,
And they're going to take ownership of this property under temporary LLC. Then they're going to go to their other property that they own under, Jason Hall Investments, and then they're going to sell that other property. And then once the money comes in from that other property, then what happens?
the money goes into an exchange account.
Okay.
So then it becomes like a regular exchange at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
Now,
Because you're
what
going
we
from the
normally
temporary LLC is then going to sell it to the Jason Hall Investments in your example, Kyle.
Does it end up switching out of that temporary LLC to whatever entity Jason wants?
Yeah,
or?
we either transfer it or they just take control over the LLC. Either they dissolve it, start their own. But basically, we make sure we transfer title and ownership as soon as the sale property is done and sold. Because what commonly happens with these situations is, I actually had one 2 weeks ago. So it's Lance. I know what property I'm getting, but I'm in escrow for both properties. I'm in escrow on this property, my purchase property. I'm in escrow for my sale property. But my escrow closes on October 1st for my purchase property, and my escrow closes October 5th for my sale property. That's literally how it goes. And we're just like, can you talk to the buyer?
Yeah.
Push him, we give him like $500.
Yeah, tell him push it back
Right.
4 days. That's a bit of an extreme version, but it's normally where they just it's always in close proximity that their sale property just is not selling before they purchase.
See, I would tell you, somebody doing this for quite a while. Everybody always teases me. I've been doing this for over 20 years, but that's where you want a real estate professional. That's somewhere like Kyle and the Whissel team can help that investor make sure it does happen on time.
Right.
It doesn't cost extra money. And if the buyer or the seller on the other side requires that extra 3 or 4 days, we give them some type of value, like you mentioned,
especially
to make it happen. And if we have to, we've got a guy like you we could bring in for reverse if we absolutely have to, but you prefer to do a traditional 1031 and just make it happen. We close one on the 5th, we close the next one on the 6th, everything's good.
It's not just you're bringing in a guy like me, is you're kind of bringing in a team. Attorneys commonly, they'll do 1031s on the side. We specialize in this. Our actual principal owner is probably one of the most renowned tax attorneys in the 1031 exchange area. And he's the one who handles, his name's Adam Skarsgård. He's the one who handles reverses. Now, this guy's been doing it for
Adam what? Listen to that
Adam Skarsgård. By the way, you want to talk sports?
He's the man.
He'll be down here on the 15th. He will run circles in sports. Like, he lives, breathes sports. This guy's brilliant.
Paul looks over like, do you want to battle? Ask him, just pick a random Super Bowl. Like, just throw a number, Super Bowl, whatever.
32?
Well, I don't know if we're there yet. Are we there? Yeah, we are there.
We're at 51 right now.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? 51.
I'm in the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Is that verifiable? Somebody, let's Google this.
We got to check tape.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. He's going to check himself. I promise you, Paul's going to check
So
himself.
Adam's a tax attorney.
Yeah, he's
you've got a law background because you went to law school. We were talking about that during the break.
Yeah.
So that's what makes you guys unique, is you truly have done the training and the education besides just, hey, I do 1031s, right? Like, them inside and out, and you can actually stand behind them and help your client anyway through the IRS or anything.
It's not just we know 1031s. It's most property is actually held in either a trust or LLC, not just in the name of an individual person. And in law school, we had to go to extensive. I had to take wills and trusts. I had to learn all the mechanics of a trust. I had to take business association and corporation and contracts law. So we understand all the mechanics involved in ownership, title, and when something's being dissolved. And the biggest thing is when something's being conveyed, especially in property law. So we kind of have a more in-depth understanding of all the complexities around it, because sometimes when people say, hey, I want to do exchange, like halfway through it, we're like, hey, do you know this guy's on title to your property? And they're like, I don't even know that guy. So we help them in terms of, the whole title issue as well, just giving them information. So it's
good stuff, man. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays, AM 1170. The Answer. We're talking with Lance Growth with Asset Exchange Company. If you want to connect with Lance, give us a call. Shoot us a text, 619-663-7355. 619-663-7355. We will get you connected with Lance so he could save you a ton of money instead of giving it to the government. When we get back, we want to get the latest and greatest with the real estate market here in San Diego from David Kreza with Whissel Realty, Jason Hall, Team Home Loans. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays. We'll be right back.